back to AB Sports Conversation with Anthony Carlo and Benzino the Hero.
Back at it. AB Conversation, Anthony Carlo, Benzino the Hero, WICR Studios, lower level of La Penta, across from the TV room. How are you?
I'm good. I think that we covered it all, right? I think that's everything.
What, wrapping up the show already?
No, no, the descriptiveness of where we are.
Yes.
In case anybody wants to stop by and pop in the control room, so
Rob
give us
Jiggity,
a
our
wave.
producer back there. Shout out, got you, boy.
Shout out, Rob. Rob over there. What's
Jiggity,
up, buddy?
what's up?
Rob's our statistician and producer for the day. In
Most
case we need any assistance, I enjoy having a producer sitting over there.
Very professional atmosphere at WICR.
I appreciate that. I appreciate those comments because we love professionalism.
We take this
here.
joint seriously.
We do. Me and Ben, we treat this as it's our job.
Yeah.
It's our career here.
Stay in the game.
We stay in here. Very good first conversation for today.
Just in case you missed it, we talked about the Ray Rice incident and the Luol Deng situation. That's on Ustream.com, plus on YouTube. Type in WICR, or you can just type in AB Conversation and just filter this week.
Absolutely, yeah. You check us out on all those things. I mean, that's what we definitely cover a lot of. We have very intellectual conversation about that. We have some serious topics going on, but how about we lighten it up a little bit and talk some football? It was week 1 this past week.
Yes, it was.
And, Ben, there were a lot of good games going on.
Heck of a lot.
Heck of a lot of good games. Now, I mentioned today was a complaining day for me, so I'll save the complaining for maybe after the positive notes.
All right.
For any Dolphins fans out there,
The Fins.
they must be happy.
My guy, Chief. Chief's a Dolphins fan. So
Chief, that's his name?
Well, we call him Chief.
Oh,
but Chief is a Dolphins fan.
One thing about you is your friends have the coolest nicknames I've ever heard. First of all, Crystal Life, what is it? Chris the Lifeguard.
Is now Chris the Janitor.
Chris the Janitor.
The game plan.
Rob
Jiggity.
Rob Jiggity.
Jiggity.
That wins it all.
Jiggity.
Rob Jiggity wins it all. And now we got Chief.
Chief's a
know.
Dolphins fan.
Chief might just take the cake. I thought Rob Jiggity did,
Wow,
but
Chief.
listen, if your nickname is Chief, you must be doing something right. If
Yes.
people go around and call you, that's like me being called boss.
You got it,
What's
boss.
up, boss?
You got it, boss.
I mean, come on, Chief. I would
Chief.
kill for having a Chief nickname. People call me Ant. That's my nickname.
Well, Rob Jiggity has referred to you as AC.
Oh, okay. So
So-
Rob knows how to smooth talk.
Yeah.
He's got the nice smooth nickname there. That's a cool nickname.
So, about the Dolphins.
About the Dolphins.
They have defeated the all-powerful New England Patriots in Week 1.
I like the way you word that.
No Sean Moreno went off for the Dolphins, 136 yards and a touchdown.
Huge pickup.
So, yeah,
Huge
coming
pickup.
from Denver, he had a stellar season with the Peyton Manning offense. People I might have criticized him. Yeah, he's not with Peyton Manning. What can he do?
Exactly.
He proved wrong in Week 1.
Prove wrong. Huge pickup for the Dolphins. Cameron Wake, big game.
Defensive player.
Yeah.
He's on
Cameron
the
Wake.
D-line, I believe, yep.
Cameron Wake, big game. And also, how about Ryan Tannehill?
The young quarterback.
Young quarterback, finally proving, I think Dolphins fans have been waiting for Ryan Tannehill to let go.
Yes.
Go off, if you will. If in basketball, that's a term
Go
used
off, yep.
to go
Yes,
off.
it is.
I think they're waiting for Ryan Tannehill to go off, and he had a solid week 1, leading his team against the veteran, experienced Tom Brady, who's being questioned this offseason if he's got any gas left in his tank.
Well, he didn't suck in his terms, but he
Right.
only had 1 touchdown and 249 yards.
Right. Tom Brady used that term that he sucked.
Yeah.
But Tom Brady did have a solid game, but Tannehill, and the Dolphins just played better. That's
I
what it
believe
came
they were
down to.
hungrier. They saw Rob Gronkowski back in that lineup
Right.
for the Patriots, so we got to step our game up. Gronk's back.
Absolutely.
Even though Gronk did score a touchdown, you have to shut down other wide receivers. They have Julian Edelman. He wasn't that much of a factor. They stopped the running game with the combo of Vereen and Ridley, so that the Dolphins defense did held their own.
Right. Mike Wallace, Dolphins receiver,
Mike
had a
Wallace.
big touchdown
Yep.
later on in the game, especially in front of the safety, Darrelle Revis.
Revis.
Darrelle Revis, I mean, listen, a lot of people are looking to see him fail right now, especially some Jets fans. And they got their wish with the Dolphins and Mike Wallace, that big touchdown later on. But Dolphins played a good week 1. So
Yes.
I like to see the underdog rise to the occasion. That's what they did. Give me a pick.
Another game that was very intriguing
I like that.
was the Saints-Falcons game.
Oh, that definitely was an intriguing game.
My boy Felix is a Falcons fan, so I have to shout out to Felix. You guys got the W. Matt Ryan coming off a bad season for the whole Falcons organization. People thought Tony Gonzalez, we're going to get the Super Bowl, give Tony Gonzalez a ring.
Absolutely.
Didn't happen. Julio Jones, third game in, out for the season. Julio Jones had a stellar game, 116 yards and a touchdown. Matt Ryan threw for 3 touchdowns and 448 yards.
Stellar game. The Saints played up to their each opponent played up to each other. They definitely had a head-to-head matchup.
Yes.
No one played down to the other, and it was a good game. And it came down to Mr. Colston, who for the Saints, Marquise Colston, and a big fumble that ultimately lost the game for the Saints. He was very frustrated at the end of that game, slamming his helmet down. You can't blame him. I mean, you like to see fire in that instance because the Saints had an opportunity to win that game. And that fumble on that possession from Marquise Colston allowed the Falcons to regain possession of the ball. They pushed down the field, they hit a field goal, and they won the game.
Even though it's week 1, it was still a divisional game regardless.
Absolutely. And it's another instance of, I'd say, the underdog showing up the big dog in that division.
Mm-hmm.
The Falcons taking down the Saints. I mean, the Saints are one of the big dogs in that division.
Yes.
And the fact that the Dolphins were able to take down the Patriots and the Dolphins took down the Patriots
in that division.
And the Falcons took down the Saints. It's like the underdog is making a statement this year in week 1.
But they're not dogs. One's a dolphin and one's a falcon. You know what I mean?
True. That's true. Dealing animals wise, they are not canines. We clear that up.
The Browns?
The Browns, yes.
The Browns Steelers?
The Browns Steelers. Brian Hoyer,
he did all right. He did not lose the job to Johnny Manziel yet.
Not yet. He did adequate enough not to lose the job to Johnny Manziel. When will we see Johnny Manziel? I mean, I think fans are probably going to get anxious at one point that they want to see Johnny Manziel, but right now they did award Brian Hoyer the starting role. So if he doesn't lose it, can you really justify taking him away?
Yeah, Manziel won't play unless Brian Hoyer gets injured or he plays terrible.
Exactly.
But during that game, Antonio Brown, the wide receiver from the Pittsburgh Steelers, were on the special teams as a punt return. And during a punt return or kick return, but I believe it was a punt return.
Right.
During that punt return, he got the ball. He was returning the punt. But on his path to the end zone, he kicked the punter in the face.
Yes, I remember that play. You are right. I remember that play. Watching that in slow motion was a little, I'd say a little humorous, but at the same time it looked like it hurt.
And it's the punter.
It's
like if you did that to the third string cornerback or something, that's more impressive. But it's the punter. He doesn't wear a face mask.
I mean, a lot of special teams got beat around a little bit. If you think about Weatherford on the Giants, he got clobbered. Thought it was a little scary for Giants fans. He got hit pretty hard and bent his leg an awkward way. But in that instance, Ben, I must say that a lot of times players who, especially in the NFL, if you're a wide receiver or you're a position player other than a special team, especially like a kicker or a punter, if you have an opportunity to put one of those punters or kickers in the ground and give them a cheap shot, they do.
Yeah.
Because they know that out of all of them, they're the daintiest.
Yes.
They're the smallest. And even though some of these guys are strong, like if you've ever seen Weatherford from the Giants.
Dude's ripped.
He's ripped.
Yeah.
But compared to these other guys, they're small.
Yes.
And they like to manhandle them. So the refs did not catch that, I believe, right? There was no penalty.
No, they
there was a penalty. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a kick to the face.
I mean, I would hope so. I remembered back. I couldn't remember if they caught it or not.
Can we talk about Tony Romo's terrible first half against the San Francisco 49ers? That was, oh, God. 3 interceptions in the first half. Dez Bryant was on lock. 4 receptions, 55 yards for Mr. Dez Bryant. And that San Francisco defense was looking tenacious.
It was looking tenacious. First of all, I mean, the Cowboys, one of the worst defenses in the league.
The worst.
The worst.
The worst.
And when you're going up against a offense like Colin Kaepernick, Frank Gore, Vernon Davis.
Carlos Hyde even got some touches, the rookie from Ohio State.
Right, Carlos Hyde. And, of course, we can't forget our friend in the wide receiver slot that showed up, Mr.
Crabtree? Who are you talking about?
Michael Crabtree.
They have Crabtree, Stevie Johnson, plus the vet, Anquan Bolden.
Right. Now, one thing that people might find a little bit, I guess, worrisome if you're a 49ers fan is that the defense-based 49ers team that used to be is really going full force at making their offense unstoppable.
Yes.
So I think if you're a 49ers fan, you have to hope that the defense can hold their ground enough where you have a team putting all their concentration offensively.
Because that defense have lost players over the offseason. They had Alden Smith suspension,
Right.
the Ray McDonald incident. Even though he's still playing, that's another topic. Dante Whitner is not on the team, so they lost significant part of the defense.
Right. And they
And Navarro Bowman's not playing. So as a defense, showing the performance that they did was very encouraging for the season.
Exactly. They're becoming an offensive-centered team with a defense who encourage the fans by playing up to their, playing up to par. And Tony Romo, I mean, just not on. I mean, just had an off game, and I think that Cowboys fans, I mean, they've seen enough of that.
The 49ers fan faithful, the Miners did travel to the Gold, which was in Dallas Cowboy Stadium. A lot of 49ers fans were in attendance.
That's true. They came out to support.
Should we focus on the two New York teams now?
I think we should. I think we should bring this since this is a show in New York.
We usually talk about
based
the
in
New York teams first and then get to the rest of the NFL. I like how we switch that up.
Yeah, we're all about turning it up.
Yeah.
We turn up the game on people. We switch it up. But anyway, as we talked about, a complaining day for me. I must say that the New York Giants came out of the gates in the 2014-15 campaign not really impressing me, to say the least.
They didn't have a stellar performance.
No, they didn't have a stellar performance. The Detroit Lions came out with, let me see if I can characterize this to the best of my ability. Megatron basically did everything and anything under his capability. Megatron, and that the way you say that is indicative of exactly what he does.
Yeah.
You like that word, indicative?
Indicative.
Very big word.
Megatron.
Not entirely sure what it means, but I think Calvin Johnson, the way he played, I think he's making the Giants think that they're not entirely sure why they're in the NFL.
He did have 7 receptions for 164 yards and 2 TDs.
Listen, the guy is a beast. I mean, 6'5", 200, and what is he, 240, 250 pounds?
Wingspan, ridiculous.
The dude is just incredible.
Yes.
He outruns everybody. There's no coverage that can contain him.
Mm-hmm.
He just legs it out. Like, he'll beat a defender just legging it past them.
Yeah.
His speed, his agility, his strength, he's a beast.
He's Megatron.
He's Megatron. His nickname suits him. And I remember one play in the game, Matthew Stafford, first of all, talking about agility.
Had a good game.
He looked in very good condition. Yes. Matthew Stafford, big kid. This year looks in great shape.
Yes.
And I think that played out to his advantage because he was navigating the pocket. He was in and out of the pocket. He was running around. He was running the Giants around.
Yes.
And he was giving his receivers enough time to get open. Mm-hmm. And Megatron, all he needed was a little bit more time. He was open making Giants defenders run into each other. You remember that play?
Yeah.
That was bad.
Because it's Megatron.
Other problems? I mean...
That defense looking suspect. That offense might be a problem. As in a problem, as in not good. We in basketball, other sports, we say he's a problem. He's like, oh, you got to watch out. We're talking about, like, literally, it's a problem. We have something going wrong here for the New York Giants offense.
Yes.
When Eli Manning can't really get the ball to Victor Cruz and Odell Beckham's injured.
Exactly.
Not saying that's Eli Manning's fault, but other receivers have to get open, and Eli has to make the play. So Eli was getting manhandled. He was sacked a couple of times last night. Not last night, on Monday night.
Couple of interceptions.
Yes.
And when you all of that is right. When you're thinking about that, where you don't have your draft pick Odell Beckham Jr. in the lineup, and you don't have your quarterback and receivers connecting like they should you as Eli Manning really be having miscommunication on pass patterns? Do you remember there was one play where don't know exactly which I can't remember which receiver it was. Might have been Donnell, tight end. Young tight end. I'm sorry. I can't Donald, the young tight end. I can't really remember which one it was, but he ran his pattern, and Eli Manning throwing the ball before the receiver even looks.
Okay.
So obviously Eli Manning was expecting the receiver to
follow the route correctly and get the ball to the destination.
Right. He did a little slant route, and it was about 10 feet into it. Manning's releasing the ball, and he's still running.
Yeah.
Okay. So I mean, you can't be messing up things like that if you rely on Manning. And another problem is Ben McAdoo, as the offensive coordinator, you're in the red zone. Now, they did score on this possession. They wound up finally scoring, but they're lucky they did.
Yeah.
Somebody must have been looking down because they go to the same jump ball play in the end zone 2 plays in a row.
Mm-hmm.
After the first one was unsuccessful, they go to it again on the same side with the same receiver with the same matchup. 2 plays in a row.
Wow.
And they're unsuccessful with it both one. Terrible coaching.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of things to complain about with the Giants this past week.
But the other New Jersey based team that has the New York name, that's the Jets. They did take a victory on Sunday against the Oakland Raiders.
That's true. A 19-14 win. Geno Smith led his team to victory, and
I don't led. Is led the correct word? Because the man did cough up the ball trying to go into the end zone. He did throw picks, but his team did get the win.
You're right. You're right. I mean, Geno Smith, I wouldn't say per se he led the team to victory. Yes. He was the quarterback while they won. Is that better?
Yeah.
He was a quarterback in a winning game. But I think it's impressive that first of all, I don't think anything was impressive because 14 points against the Raiders.
The Raiders have okay defense. Justin Tuck almost had a big play. He could have batted the ball down, but it was a shovel pass to Geno Smith to Chris Johnson, new acquired running back. That was from the Titans for a touchdown. But Charles Woodson did pick him off, the 17-year veteran. Charles Woodson. You don't play games with the kids.
No, you don't. If you're a Jets fan at this point, I think you have to remain optimistic and continue to believe that your team can play well, because I think that all the Jets need is a little momentum in them, and a lot of people will probably be saying that the Jets are going to have a better year than the Giants.
Your boy Pryor had a good game.
Callum Pryor played well. That's absolutely correct.
David Carr, the young rookie for the Raiders, he had rookie. It was his first NFL game, so he had a rookie jitters, but he did find James Jones for a heck of a catch by James Jones in the end zone with 1:30 left, and it almost cost the Jets an L instead of a W.
That is correct. But NFL Week 1 in the books.
The Thursday night game is Steelers-Ravens.
Steelers-Ravens in that game. Who are you picking in that?
I have to say the Steelers.
Go with the Steelers. In that game, I think that is a tough one.
It's a divisional game as well. Those games are always good.
Right, and Raven Nation really needs to stand together in this one. They definitely need that. But you know what? I'm going to go with the Steelers as well. Big Ben, I'm going to ride it on him.
Well, we can wrap that up on football. And now I talked to Anthony Carlo, but I want to talk to Mr. Pinstripes right now. Anthony, the Yankees.
Pinstripes.
The Yankees.
Oh,
what's going on in the Bronx?
New York Yankees. There's problems in the Bronx. The New York Yankees, unfortunately, we have a team that is now 5.5 games out of the wild card.
Ugh.
We have a team that I'm not going to even get on the topic of how far they are out of their division. I believe it's 11 games now.
Ugh.
But we have a team that is worth complaining about. Or I should say, you know what? I should say, honestly, we shouldn't even spend time talking about them.
Wow.
I should say right now, the way they're playing, the chances they have to make the playoffs, people would say, you know what? It's just not worth making a part of your show's format to include the New York Yankees.
Wow.
People would just say it's not worth it. But you know what? Just because I'm so angry about it, I'm going to grace people's minds with my thoughts on last night's game.
Talk that talk.
Now, Ben, last night's game, we are going to look at a couple of the problems that I'm going to address right now.
Enlighten the audience.
I will enlighten them. Now we go to the bottom of the fifth.
Bottom fifth.
We have no outs. Jacoby Ellsbury singles. Robbie Thompson, the Yankees' third base coach, decides to send Stephen Drew home on the play. So there's a runner at second.
Okay.
Jacoby Ellsbury singles to left. That runner on second is Stephen Drew. He's rounding third base. He's heading home. Robbie Thompson, the third base coach, is giving him the wheel. He is telling him to score on this. That play comes in with a throw from Matt Joyce in left field that beats him to the plate, and Ryan Hanigan, the Tampa Bay catcher, is standing there before he has the ball, blocking home plate. Now, Stephen Drew's tagged out. Joe Girardi argues the play is reviewed. As you know, the rule in the MLB is if the catcher has no possession of the baseball,
You can't block it.
he has to give the runner a lane to score.
Okay.
Stephen Drew, apparently, if you look at that play, there's no way he had a lane to score.
Okay.
They review that play, and they say it stands.
Wow.
Stephen Drew is out.
Well,
That necessarily is not a problem on the Yankees' behalf. But a problem to many fans would probably be the fact that Robbie Thompson sent him on that play with no outs. The Yankees down 1 run.
they could have had scoring opportunities.
Right. In an inning where they could have had a sac fly or any other way to get that run in besides taking a chance with Matt Joyce in left field.
Mm-hmm.
To defend Robbie Thompson, the third base coach, for sending Stephen Drew, I will say that Matt Joyce had a bad throw earlier in that game.
Okay.
So you cannot get on his case completely for sending Stephen Drew on that. The real issue in this play is the fact that MLB needs to get their stuff together, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term. They need to really reevaluate their rules and make it clear to people what this rule is.
Yes.
Because if their rule is the way they stated it, then there is no way that Stephen Drew should have been out on that play.
Mm-hmm.
Ryan Hanigan blocked the play before he had possession of the baseball. Another play in this game.
There's another one?
There's another one.
Okay.
That would cause some trouble, cause some issues, is the fact that let's take it to bottom 7. Yanks down 4-3 still. Ichiro just stole second base.
All right, Ichiro.
He's leading off second.
Okay.
Stephen Drew is at the plate. Stephen Drew is involved in this controversy a lot.
Alrighty.
Ichiro takes off, stealing third base. Stephen Drew's at the plate and sees Ichiro stealing third base. Ichiro had the base stolen. Ichiro was going to be in there. Stephen Drew swings on a 2-0 pitch, a fastball, and lines the ball into right field, line drive out, doubled up as Ichiro off a second, double play.
Ooh.
Let me explain to you something. When you're a hitter and you're hitting, out of your peripheral vision, I'm not saying it's the easiest thing in the world, but for a Major League Baseball player, for a hitter who's in the major leagues, you should be able to see that the runner has the base stolen. And on a 2-0 count, with no outs,
No.
well,
outs
I'm sorry,
again.
1 out.
Okay, 1 out.
1 out. You should be able to let that runner take third base without swinging.
Yes.
You want your runner to advance. When you foul a ball off because you swing and when a runner had the base stolen, or you swing and you line out or do something that makes that runner go back to the base and not steal that base when he clearly had it stolen, it's frustrating because your runner had that base stolen.
Easily. Okay.
He swings, and if you realize all he had to do was take that pitch and the Yankees would have needed a fly ball to tie the game.
The sack fly that you alluded to the other inning.
Right, a sac fly. The Yankees were 2 sac flies away from tying the game twice, and they couldn't come through either time because both times, one, they got gypped out of the play because of a rule that just the MLB messed up. The other time, a hitter swings at a pitch that took themselves out of an inning.
Wow.
That is what I'm frustrated about. Now, a couple of points to hit on here is the fact that...
Hit on.
Actually, yeah, hit on. That's very clever of me. Actually, I hit on them both already. If you,
2 for 2.
2 for 2. Those are my points, though. And the fact that the Yankees cannot execute simple base running, simple fundamentals, when they're basically fighting to make this season not be over with the last regular season game, it's just despicable.
Wow.
I'm using a word from you there.
Despicable.
And the fact that this season is turning from a Derek Jeter honorary season to send him off on a good note, a playoff berth, a playoff run, turning into a goodbye Derek Jeter, mellow, sorrowful goodbye. We didn't even make the playoffs. That it's a disgrace.
Wow.
And after the ceremony, his commencement his speech
On Sunday.
everybody coming out, Michael Jordan, Cal Ripken, how much better would this have been if the fans at Yankee Stadium could be there actually instead of ditching the team? There are no fans in the ballpark.
Wow.
Nobody, not for that particular ceremony. There were people
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
But games like this, you look on the upper deck, nobody's going to the games
Nobody.
anymore. The Yankees don't win anymore. They don't win.
And they're the Yankees.
They're the Yankees, and they're supposed to win. And to send Derek Jeter off on his last year without, not even mention a ring, without a playoff berth, by committing stupid errors like this to lose games, it's just ridiculous. And that's a rant if I've ever heard one.
I heard plenty from you. That was impressive.
That's a rant if I and Rob's giving me the thumbs up. I'm
Talk
sorry,
that,
I get
talk
heated
that.
about this.
Talk that. It's cool.
Whew. I think I'm done with that topic.
All right, moving on to another sport, the FIBA basketball.
FIBA basketball.
USA played Slovenia yesterday. They had won 119-76. In that game, Klay Thompson had 20 points coming off the bench leading the USA. Kenneth Faried, another monstrous game, 14 and 10, double-double. And Davis doing his thing. James Harden James Harden plays the 2, but in the USA role, he's more of the ball handler. He runs the offense because when you have Steph Curry, when you have Kyrie,
Right.
James Harden can bring the ball up and just pass. Even though James Harden likes to shoot, he's acting more of the guy bringing up the ball.
It's weird seeing him like
which
that,
is pretty cool to see.
Yeah.
The USA plays Lithuania tomorrow, 3 Eastern, so 3 o'clock. And that should be a good game because in that game they have emerging big man Jonas Valanciunas. He plays
the
for
Hawks.
Toronto
Raptors.
He plays for Toronto Raptors, so him and his Lithuanian brethrens will try to take down the USA.
Valanciunas played pretty well against the Nets in that playoff series last year. That should be interesting to watch. I like him. I like Jonas Valanciunas.
Valanciunas is a bright future
Big
for
boy.
that. He's a bright future for the Toronto Raptors organization.
Absolutely.
In other basketball news, this is news for basketball. Mr. Big Shot, that's Chauncey Billups. He has retired from the NBA, 17-year veteran, 15.2 points, 2.9 rebounds, and 5.2 assists. So the question is out on him, is he Hall of Fame worthy? That for me right now, no. He's a very solid player in the NBA. He is a veteran point guard. He was always like that, even as a youngster. Even young.
Right,
he had that mentality of upstanding citizen. He's a good guy. He knows how to run the offense, and he can knock down 3-ball.
I would agree with you. I wouldn't say Chauncey Billups is Hall of Fame worthy. I would say that you stated it perfectly. He's a solid player.
Very solid.
He's a player that you'd want on a winning team.
He did win a championship with Detroit in 2004.
Right. But he is not the winning team. He's not the guy who's gonna.
He wasn't the main.
He's not.
He missed a big shot for a reason. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
That's why he got the name.
Right. But he's part of. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong.
Tayshaun Prince, Rasheed Wallace, Ben Wallace, Rip Hamilton.
He's part of the
Nice,
supporting cast to that number one player on your starting 5.
It was a good cast that he had, that team.
That was good.
And he was on Knicks for a little stint, so New York Knicks basketball, always good to see a player like that played for the Knicks
Absolutely.
going off to having a nice career, ending his career very nicely. Because he did solid for the Knicks that he was there. He was only there half the season because, Carmelo trade.
Right.
So he was acquired during that.
Right. Well, congratulations, Chauncey Billups, on a great
Chauncey,
career.
that's how you say it. Billups.
Billups. I practice it. I mean, I don't know if that sounded good.
Yeah, it was all right.
It was all right. Chauncey, Rob's laughing at me.
Billups.
Oh, man. What time are we at, Ben? Is it that time already?
It's about that time. The shout-outs. Carlos, FG, Yuli, Franklin, Rob, Jiggity, Will, Alex, Chris Kraft, Game Plan, Chris Joslin, Sedan, Say, A, Runs, Dakari, Chris the Life, Chris the Janitor. Wow. FSMP, GTN, we out here.
He almost said Crystal. Oh, he did say Crystal Life. That's going to be hard to get used to, Chris the Janitor.
Yeah.
And I keep saying Crystal.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
I wrote Chris the Lifeguard down, but it's Chris the Janitor.
See,
You're a janitor,
you
Chris.
can't get away from that life. I must be honest, Chris. I liked you better as a lifeguard, but it's not my part to tell you what job you should have. I'm just saying.
Anthony.
It's been fun, Ben, as it always is here at AB Conversation.
Even though I will see Anthony throughout the week, AB Conversation will be back next Wednesday, 4:30 to 5:30 slot.
Yeah, and just to reiterate what Ben said earlier, make sure you go on. I want everybody to practice this. Go on YouTube and go to, I'll give you the exact link. It's http://www.youtube.com. How do you like this? I'm laying it all out. /user/WICR Gales Radio. Don't forget all that jargon.
Just type in AB Conversation and filter it to the week that we air.
Right, you can type. Right, you can search that. You can search WICR Gales Radio. You should see AB
at Benzino_the hero on Twitter.
Ben's the Twitter. You can definitely go and look at
tweet at me.
I believe I don't go on Twitter that much. I should use it more.
Yeah.
What am I, aCarlo1?
I don't know what you
I don't know. Anyway, you could also, always utilize Ustream or Live 365. You just go in, you
like the video, subscribe to the channel so you know when it's posted.
Right. All you got to do is go on Ustream and type in WICR, and we come up on this allotted time slot.
But I like the
4:30.
YouTube one better because
People can watch it whenever they want.
and the views, you know. So
Yeah.
it's nice seeing views.
Give us the views, people. We appreciate it. Anyway, for Benzino the Hero, I'm Anthony Carlo. We wish you a great week and a farewell. Till next time.
Word.
This is Tim McCarthy from ESPN, and I want to tell all you MassCom students in Iona, stick with it. It's a wonderful program. You got great professors, great teachers. Feel the passion, because I'll tell you something, there's many, many people in our industry from Iona. And Iona, it's all about the people, and MassCom is moving along.